Good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I'm St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo, my people. It was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every minute of my protest. My people, I must remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American? My people, as I tell you, there's nothing particularly interesting to report today, but I enjoyed every minute of the protest. My people, there is a spike in the violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. At the school for children with special needs, a night watchman was found with his throat slashed. That is the MO of a particular person in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm not saying this person is who did it, but I'm just saying it is the MO of a particular person. I want you to remember that all of these violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether you blame it on drugs, whether you blame it on gang activities, they are all caused by E Gonsalves. All of these people who are dying and who are being shot are all reprobates. They have either participated in homosexuality, bestiality, or they were raped and they kept their rape silence, or had an abortion. If you have never done any of these things, you have no reason to be afraid of the violence that is happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. E Gonsalves, he is afraid of Vincentians, the black Vincentians. Why? The most I say, he's going to put the fear of you and the dread of you in the hearts of every one who hates you. He hates you. He speaks out of his second mouth. My people, white people, the Caucasians, cannot live among black people and feel comfortable unless the black community are in turmoil with violence and other things. Let me give you an example of this. In Jamaica was an ordinary, regular black community. But something happened in 1974. In 1974, Edward Seaga became opposition leader, a white man, Edward Seaga. Michael Manley was prime minister, another white man. And these two white men could not feel comfortable, although they were in the highest political office in Jamaica. They did not feel comfortable within the Jamaican community, even though they were born there. Because a white man could never be comfortable around black people unless he is actively enslaving them, or unless the black community is in turmoil. My people, what they did, they took Michael Manley and Edward Seaga, created a dance system in Jamaica. This was a concerted effort. This was a joint venture between these two white political leaders of the Jamaicans. What they did, they get criminals in each of the constituency that supported them, and they put the criminals in charge of the constituency, and they call them Dan. Those criminals could have done anything, any crime, and the crimes will not be investigated by the police, because the Dan's actions and the Dan's followers' actions was done in the protection of the white community of Jamaica. Around this time, they have been bringing in a lot of white investment. So not only was Edward Seaga and Michael Manley protecting themselves, they were also protecting the white investors they were bringing in by having the black community in turmoil. You have to remember Edward Seaga is a Yale-educated politician. When he was at Yale, he touched base with the CIA. The CIA encouraged him to get involved in politics, and they assured him a win. But when he could not win by the ballot, Edward Seaga and Michael Manley have already put a structure in place to cause mass violence in Jamaica. All the CIA did, they come in and they distribute guns between the followers of Edward Seaga and the followers of Michael Manley, and they let them loose with the Dan. And the Dans start fighting against each other politically. My people, it was the same thing they did here in California. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, what they did, they start incarcerating the black men wholesale. Their objective was to ensure that these black men get involved in homosexual activities in the prison. When they did so, when the spirit of the Most High left them, devils and demons possessed them. And the Caucasians who control those devils and demons control those people that become the Caucasian slaves. This is what they did. Those slaves, they start two gangs. One is the Bloods, one is the Crips. Every member of the Bloods and Crips participate in homosexuality. Every one of them. That is why they are so easily manipulated into fighting against each other. Not in a secluded area, but within their own communities. Because it is a white man's intention to make the people afraid. If you notice something here, the Bloods wear red, the Crips wear blue. The Republican is red, the Democrats are blue. This is not by coincidence. This is by design, my people. It is the same thing that is happening in Jamaica. But only thing, instead of Bloods and Crips, street gangs, it is political gangs. There's no difference. My people, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, before James Mitchell came onto the political scene, Vincentians live in harmony all through the years. In the political season, I support in NDP, I support in PPP, you support in Labour. We argue, we joke about it, we go, we vote, and when the voting was over, it finished. When James Mitchell came on the scene, James Mitchell changed that around. He started oppressing the opposition and the opposition supporters. What he did, he created a climate of unending political campaigning, where now people who would argue during the political season and go back to friendship after politics are now enemies, real enemies, refusing to talk to each other, refusing to share with each other. James Mitchell took it to another level. Then Ralph Gonsalves came in and took it to a whole new level. A whole new level of oppression and exploitation. And with their level of incompetence, they are not able to do anything better. They have to secure what little resources this country have to ensure their supporters are taken care of. And they get another term, even though they know they cannot win. My people, all of these violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are done by the slaves of Ralph Gonsalves. And then we hear murder, drive-by shooting. They are done by the slaves of Ralph Gonsalves. The police in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are not equipped to deal with this. The police in America is equipped to deal with this, but they don't, because They are serving the white man. Now, anytime you become a police in America, you have to participate in homosexuality. If you never participate in homosexuality, you can never be a police. You have to be their slave. If you're not their slave, you will never be employed as a police officer in America, in Canada, or in any part in Europe, in any white state. That's not how it works. I slipped under the radar in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You understand? All of those people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are running about and shooting each other and slashing people's throats, all of them are slaves. They have either partook homosexuality, bestiality, abortion, or rape, and they denounce the rapists. All of the victims are also slaves. If you have never partook in homosexuality, if you have never partook in bestiality, if you have never had an abortion, and if you are never raped and didn't out your rapist, no one, and I say no one, can murder you. Trust me on that. The Caucasians are not trying to kill me. Every minute they're trying to kill me. Every minute of the day. They try to poison me. They try to strangle me. They try to do all kind of thing. They can't touch I. I am untouchable. That's why it's a boasting. I walk with my head up, my chest out, and I step like a champion because I know they can't touch I. My people. All of the violence in Vincent the Grenadines are done by Ralph Gonsalves slaves. And those people who are being murdered are also Ralph Gonsalves slaves. If you are not a slave, don't worry. Don't worry, they could only cause you minor inconveniences. They can't do you nothing. My name is Chief Strongblood, and I'm gone. Have a good weekend.